this is Haima again. How are you doing? Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's doing good. I just wanted to come before everyone because yesterday I did a video introducing my new baby, Jaren. Jaren, I have found out, is the Maggie sculpt by Natalie Blick. So I wanted to come on and I wanted to give her credit because she sculpted this kit. Yes, I got it from Amazon, but still, Natalie Blick is the one who actually sculpted this kit, because I did not know about the Maggie kit. That is one kit that I was not very familiar with. I have been watching other things, and there are certain sculptors that I look at, Claire Taylor, Rami Stridham. I look at, there are some of Natalie Blick's things that I've seen. Tasha Edenholm, Bonnie Brown, of course, Laura Lee Eagles, because those are dolls that I have in my collection. Ping Lau, I know about a lot of her sculpts, but I don't recognize all of them. That's one thing that I'm getting used to doing, is being able to recognize a lot of the kits, certain features that they have. But this one I was not familiar with. So this is the Maggie sculpt by Natalie Blick. And if you guys can see, I kind of did her hair. Her hair is still in 3 ponytails, but I kind of balled them up last night because Miss Thing had a little attitude last night. I'm just telling y'all, she had a little attitude. So that's why she's still in her sleeper. She came to work with mommy today, but she had a little attitude. I mean, I thought it was going to be to the point where she was going to have to get a little thighs pop, because didn't want to lay down, didn't want to do nothing. She wanted to do what she wanted to do. So we kind of went through that phase last night. So that's why I kind of posted some pictures on Instagram of her this morning, and that's why she's still in her sleeper, which is a little play sleeper anyway, so she can sleep in it and she can play in it. Don't try to hide your face now. But she was something else last night. Oh yes, she was something else. So what I did, she didn't want me to do her hair. She didn't want me to do anything. She didn't want no bottle. She didn't want nothing. So we kind of went through that little phase last night. As if, instead of being a toddler who is pretty much, I would say, between 3 and 6 months, or maybe 6 to 9, no, 3 to 6 months, pretty much, more like a terrible 2. So we kind of went through that phase, guys, so you have to excuse it. So this is what was done with her hair this morning. And even now, she still act like she don't she really don't want to be bothered with people. I noticed that about Jaren. Jaren is she's just like that. I want to get her sister out, which is Journey. Journey is the Saskia kit by Bonnie Brown. I want to get her back out and see how they are together, because I want to take some pictures of them together, because they're pretty much about the same size. But tonight, I'm supposed to be getting another body for Jaren, because I was looking at some videos when I found out, and I really think one of the subscribers who commented and let me know what sculpt this is, because, I'm glad. I wanted to know, because it bothers me if I don't know. I know there are some things, but most of the sculpts, most of the dolls that you see now, even on Amazon, they're sculpts that belong to an artist. So, I do like to give the artist credit. Yes, I bought the doll at a reasonable price. She's a beautiful doll, too. Jaren is beautiful. I'm sorry. She's a beautiful doll. And it was nothing taken away from really the sculpt, except for the fact that, she didn't come with a COA. She did come from Amazon. She came with a birth certificate, in which I filled out and everything, because that's what I do. But she's a beautiful, beautiful doll. But I do want to change her body, because I was looking at some videos with her once I found out who her artist was, her sculptor was. And that's why I was telling you it was kind of odd to me that this body that she came with had 3/4 legs, and then she had full limbs. That was strange. But then when I looked at some of the videos, she actually has full limbs. Her legs are supposed to be on a different type of body. So once I saw what the body was, I ordered it. It's supposed to come today, and I'm going to change her body and then try to kind of do a detailed video, because You know, guys, and I know people have some issues with the Amazon babies and some of the babies that come, but like I think it was Autumn Johnson. I was watching her channel because she gets a lot of the Amazon babies too, so people can see how they look, so they'll know if they want to buy them or not. Which that I think that is awesome. That's why I like to do it too, so you can kind of get a good look, because a lot of times you look at the pictures and because with Ashton Drake, I'm sorry, I like Ashton Drake babies, and when you get them, they're beautiful babies, and it's that soft silicone vinyl, but the babies don't look like the pictures. The dolls don't look like the pictures. But most of the time when you get the dolls on Amazon, Amazon pretty much shows you what they are. They try to give you a good picture, and then there are people on there who do reviews and show pictures of the dolls after they've got them, to give you a better view of what it's going to look like when it comes out of the box and when you change the clothes. But I'm telling you, what makes the Amazon dolls more realistic and more like a reborn is when you take the time and you rewear them and you fix them up the way you want to fix them up. And like I said, I think they're good starter babies, because like I said, a lot of the young people who want to be involved in the reborn community and stuff, they don't have money to buy the actual reborns. I mean, and people can make comments all they want to about me, but you go right ahead, because you don't fund my reborn fund. You don't put any money in that, okay? So, I'm not going to keep going through this thing about this, because sometimes people make little comments, and I see the comments that they make on other people's channel. Even Springflower has brought it up before in several of her videos. It's nothing nice to do, and you need to tend to your business. I mean, if it's something that you don't like, that's fine, and we respect that, but respect the fact that we did what we wanted to do with our money, and we got what we wanted. And the thing is, if you notice, when I post pictures of my dolls, even when I do videos on Facebook, not Facebook, I'm sorry, I do have a Facebook account for my dolls, but not Facebook, but YouTube, here on YouTube. I make my dolls the way I want to make them. I make them into what I want. They may not be what you call an actual reborn, but to me it is a reborn, because it's still from a sculpt that was sculpted and painted. The sculpt didn't come out painted. It had to be painted, it had to be rooted, and it had to be fixed up like a reborn. So it's still a reborn. You keep telling people, you don't have a reborn. You don't have a reborn. That is not a reborn. And you tell people who have Behringers and they go and they fix up the Behringers and stuff like that, you don't have a reborn. It's whatever they want it to be. It's whatever that person wants it to be. It's their hobby. You cannot knock people. Everybody, I keep saying this, everybody is not the same, people. We're all different people. We all have different likes. We have different likes. We have different dislikes. We have different hobbies that we go into. Everybody is not the same. That's what makes it so wonderful. Because the things that you like, you can share them. The ideas and the creativity that you have, you can pass that on and share it. It's just, I'm to the point where I'm getting so tired of this. I'm getting so tired of the backlashing and the snapping about that stuff. Leave it alone. Leave these girls alone. Leave these people alone. They know what they're able to do. And, it's a relaxing thing for them. It's relaxing for me. That's why I take the dolls and I do what I want with them. Like I said, I even take some of the regular baby dolls and I'll totally change the body and I'll redo stuff. And, especially if it's like the softer silicone, because some of the dolls that you buy in the store, they do have that silicone vinyl. So you can take the stuffing out of them, and you can put glass beads in them, and you can weigh their heads, and you can change their bodies into cloth bodies that you think would fit and turn them into something totally different. And I've even given them out, as gifts to other girls, that I've done that too. But, the thing is, everybody's different. Guys, come on, everybody's different. I mean, and we're all women. Some of us don't have children, but a lot of us do have children. Some of us are in our 40s. Some of us are younger that don't have children. Young people starting out that's experimenting with the dolls. I mean, I think it's a good experience for young people to realize that if you're going to take these reborn dolls around and these toddler dolls around, and you can pretend to be mommy, the one thing that you can realize about the reborn dolls is you can pretend to be mommy for as long as you want, but when you get tired, you can put the doll back up. You can put the doll up. You don't have to worry about the doll. If you don't want to dress the doll for 2 weeks, you don't have to dress the doll. If you don't want to bathe the doll, you don't have to. If you don't want to feed the doll stays the same. But if you go and you have a baby, okay, and I have to try to put this out for a lot of young people, because I have been married, had a child. I've been a single parent who had a child out of wedlock. I mean, this is how I've been. So it's a good experience for them to understand that once you have a baby and you become mommy for real, your whole life changes. You can't just jump up whenever you want to jump up with, because you got to consider your baby. You can't just run and do whatever you want, because you have to consider your baby. You have to get a bag ready. You have to get a car seat ready. You have to get all this ready. When you go to the grocery store, you can't just put stuff in there. You got a baby on your hip. Sometimes you got one on your beside your leg and everything. It is a different experience. So my point is, stop bashing these young girls who want to get involved in this, even the little ones who want to experience reborn, because let them learn. I think it's such a wonderful experience for them to learn from these. They can get a toddler and realize, oh my goodness, this toddler's big. And their mom can say, yeah, you used to be that big too. Was I? And you get a better, use it for educational purposes. Use it for whatever you want to use it to. It does not matter if it's the cheaper version, as long as you give that artist credit. That's why I'm so glad, again, for the subscriber who came on and told me what sculpt this is. Because really, guys, I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't know about this sculpt. But she is adorable. I love her. And when I saw her face, I said, that is a beautiful doll. I would love to have her, because I want to reweigh her. I believe, because I know she don't have no weight on her. She didn't. And I reweighed her, and she's weighted, and she's so realistic. And when I change her body, she's going to be even more realistic. But, these are the things we need to think about before we start bashing people and telling them what they shouldn't do. And don't you know this is this, and don't you know that is that. Stop doing that. Leave these people alone. They know what they're doing. They'll do their research. And, just remember, everybody who's out there, if you do buy an Amazon doll, or if you buy something, if you find out who the artist is, recognize her. Recognize her, him. Recognize those artists, because those companies that we're buying them from for a more reasonable price may not recognize them as they should. I noticed some of them are going back now, and they're putting who the sculpt is by. This is the copy sculpt. They're doing that. I kind of noticed that, which is better than what it was. Just to ignore it is not good, but recognize who the artist is. So I'm going to go and make some changes on my YouTube, and make some, do some edits on my Instagram also, since I know that Natalie Blick is the one who did this sculpt, and she's the Maggie sculpt. And I'm very happy to have her. I love how she looks. I love her eyes. I love that little mouth print. Sassy girl. She's sassy. And look how she's looking at everybody. And I just love that. So guys, let's just continue to love one another and encourage one another. And let's be more positive and be more productive in drawing people into the community so that they feel more comfortable with this hobby. There are a lot of people who don't want to even express that they do it, because they don't want backlash from people outside. So can you imagine how it is to get backlash from people who are in the community? From certain, what kind of mess is that? What is that? It's bad enough. The people outside, they think something wrong with you, and they think you crazy. They think we have some kind of mental issue. There is no mental issue. It's a hobby that's enjoyed. It's just like a man collects cars, or they say they collect guns and all this kind of stuff. I don't know why. That's kind of odd, but they collect cards, and they collect sports paraphernalia, and certain jerseys they collect. It's nothing different. People collect coins. They collect all kinds of things. It's no different than that. So, like I said, didn't want to go too far, but it's frustrating to see that sometimes on some of these things, the comments. That's rude. That is just so rude, and we're not about that. It's been too much going on in this country now with COVID and all kinds of stuff for us to be jumping and bashing at one another. My God, show some love. Show some love. And if it's something you feel like they need to educate them, but do it in a positive way. If you didn't know, this sculpt is by so and so, that's a copy sculpt, but maybe just so you can get a history, this is where the sculpt was done, and she's an artist, and she does this and this and this. Let them know that way. Don't be bad. Do you know what you did? And do you know that's wrong? And do you know you're stealing from the art? What? No, because you know what? This is the way I look at it. Even if you buy these, the artist is still getting recognition. Because as long as you give the artist credit for what they did and give the sculptor credit for the sculpt, that sculptor is getting recognition because, oh my gosh, people are buying this. Oh, she did this. So you know what? Let me look in to see something else she did. Oh my God, she did this doll that I bought from Amazon. Oh man, let me look at her actual ones. I think I want that. That's how it works. It's a networking. It's advertising. Regardless of where you get it from, it's advertisement for the sculptor. I don't know if people realize that, but it is. Nobody's taking anything from them, and like I agree with what's her name? Dance Moms or something like that. Sundance Mom. I agree with her when she took the time and she was talking about, a lot of stolen sculpt. I think it probably is good if the artists go and they get their stuff copyrighted and make sure that nobody can use their sculpt without permission. That is an important thing, because if you get it copyrighted where nobody can just make a copy of your sculpt without your permission, then no matter what they do, and even if you agree to do manufacture, it's nothing wrong with doing manufactured sculpts. You got your originals and got your manufactured, because the artist is still getting credit for that. But I would just have the artists the sculptors make sure that no matter what happens with any manufacturing of my sculpt or anything else, you need to give me some of that profit, because I did that original sculpt. And that's the thing that I'm standing on. But, don't bash people for buying the manufacturers, because the artist is still getting recognition. They're still getting recognition as long as we give them the recognition. And it's up to us. It's up to us. So, like I said, I don't want to do a long spiel. Jarman and I just wanted to come and say hi so you can see her outfit. This is a child of mine outfit 0 to 3 months. And you see my girl. She is something else. And I got her so floppy, and I love that. But we just wanted to come before you and say hi. She, with her little attitude, she don't want to look at anybody. But you guys have a good day. I will see you on the next round. How Adorable Cuties is out. And guys, continue to love. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Continue to love one another just as God loves us. He created us all. We're his creation. And if you don't understand, when the city of Israel got to the point where they wanted to be disobedient, and no matter what God did for them, they just didn't want to listen. He kept bringing them out of certain things and bringing them out of this. He brought them out of Egypt and took them into the wilderness. He was taking care of them. They didn't even have to do anything for themselves. And they still were disgruntled. They were still complaining. They were still doing this. God got tired of that. He got angry and he got frustrated. And then he started taking them through years and generations of exile. He did not keep his hands off of them, and he did not keep watching over them. But they did go through a time of punishment because of disobedience, and because they didn't share love for one another, and because they didn't reach out to other people in need who needed that. So we need to remember that when we're doing these things on these social medias and stuff. When we're on social media, we're stretching way beyond the local cities that we are. We're supposed to be spreading love. That's what the social media is supposed to do, not negativity. So remember that. God loves you, I love you, and guys, take care. Until the next time. Again, Adorable Cuties is out, guys, and I love you all so much. Let's stay in prayer. Bye-bye.